Ever heard a melody that just gets under your skin? Not in a catchy way, but in a way that feels. Wrong? Today, we're diving into a story where music isn't just art, it's a cage. Imagine this. Michael Vance, a name once whispered in concert halls, a child prodigy whose music has since faded into obscurity. He's called back to the place where it all began. His childhood home, a sprawling, Gothic mansion swallowed by the misty, autumn-drenched forests of rural Vermont. The reason for his return? His parents, a reclusive clockmaker and his quiet wife, have vanished without a trace. The house, usually filled with the gentle ticking of his father's creations, is eerily quiet. But as Michael steps inside, he finds it's not empty. It's filled with the most bizarre, hand-built musical instruments he has ever seen. Intricate contraptions of wood, brass, and string, hybrids of lutes and gears, harpsichords connected to complex clockwork. They are his father's final secret projects. As Michael cautiously explores the dusty, decaying rooms, a sense of profound isolation creeps in. The air is thick with nostalgic dread. He touches a key, plucks a string, and the sound that rings out is beautiful, yet deeply unsettling. He soon realizes these aren't just instruments. They are traps. Acoustic prisons, meticulously designed and tuned by his father to contain something ancient, something that belongs to the whispering woods of New England folklore. It's a creature of sound and memory, a fly-like entity that feeds on the echoes of the past. And with his parents gone, the music has stopped, and the cage is broken. The entity is free. Suddenly, the silence of the house is shattered. A familiar lullaby his mother used to hum begins to play, but it's warped, discordant. The melody twists, turning a cherished memory into a psychological weapon that claws at his sanity. The very air seems to vibrate with malice. The house itself becomes an instrument for the creature. It manipulates the acoustics, turning every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind against the window panes, into a symphony of terror. Ghostly figures flicker in the periphery of his vision. Whispers echo from empty hallways, and the very walls seem to shimmer and distort, as if reality itself is being untuned. Michael is trapped in a state of sonic claustrophobia, where every sound could be an attack and every memory a snare. He realizes his father wasn't just a clockmaker. He was a warden. And Michael, with his perfect pitch and musical genius, is the only one who can inherit that duty. Buried in his father's workshop, beneath schematics of gears and pendulums, he finds the blueprint, a counter-melody, a complex, dangerous piece of music designed not to soothe, but to fight, a sonic key to lock the creature away again. His task is monumental. He must race against his own fraying mind to repair and retune the decaying instruments scattered throughout the mansion. Each one is a piece of a larger puzzle, a single note in the symphony of containment. As he works, the entity fights back. It conjures sonic illusions of his parents, their voices pleading with him, blaming him. It replays his greatest failures, the sour notes of his life, amplified to a deafening roar. The house groans and shifts around him, threatening to collapse under the sheer sonic pressure. A battle of wills, of musician against monster, leads him to the heart of the mansion, the grand music room. Here, the entity has fully manifested. It's no longer just a whisper or a flicker. It's a swirling vortex of sound and light. Within its chaotic form, he sees fragmented memories, his first recital, his parents' loving smiles, all twisted into a nightmare. In the center of the room stands the final instrument, a massive, custom-built pipe organ, its metallic pipes reaching towards the decaying ceiling like skeletal fingers. This is the master lock. Taking a deep breath, Michael begins to play. The counter-melody explodes from the organ, a powerful, defiant sound that clashes with the entity's cacophony. It's a sonic war. The two opposing melodies tear at each other, the sheer force of their collision ripping the house apart. Plaster rains from the ceiling, windows shatter, and the very foundation of the mansion groans in protest. The entity shrieks, a sound made of 1,000 stolen voices, as Michael pushes his own music, his own will, into the fray. He plays with a desperate ferocity, pouring all his pain, his genius, and his love for his parents into the music. He sees the creature's form begin to unravel, its stolen light and sound being violently pulled back, drawn into the pipes of the organ, the strings of the harp, the gears of the clockwork instruments. The vortex collapses, and with a final deafening implosion, the entity is gone. And then silence. A true, profound silence the house hasn't known in decades. The instruments, their purpose served, lie shattered. The air is still. But in the quiet, a new sound emerges. Faintly, gently, a simple, loving melody plays the last tune his parents shared, a memory finally cleansed of the entity's corruption, now at peace. Michael stands amidst the ruin, exhausted but whole. He walks out of the crumbling mansion, leaving the ghosts and the silence behind. He steps back into the world, not as the faded prodigy, but as a musician who has faced the dissonance of his past and composed his own future. His music is finally, truly his own. What a story, right? It just goes to show that sometimes the most terrifying things aren't what we see, but what we hear. If you love exploring these kinds of dark, atmospheric concepts, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the worlds of folk horror and psychological thrillers. Thanks for watching.